Hey guys, I hope everybody's doing amazing, having a great day, guys. Today is all about how closed mouths don't get fed. And we're so afraid of money and so afraid of credit, so afraid of situations that we're not opening our mouths and asking for the things that we need. And so we're sitting by and we're missing the very opportunities that have been sent to save us. I'm always in remembrance of that story. We all in the camera, baby. That's okay. It happens this time every day when the sun come through there.
That's too much.
Oh, that's good. But I'm always in remembrance of that story where the man was in a flood and he prayed to God to send him some help. Well, the first boat came by and the man didn't get in, and went to the second story and the second boat came by and he didn't get in. He got on the roof and a helicopter came by and he didn't get in. So when he drowned, now it's super dark. You got to get rid of that
The
one.
sun came up just that fast.
Exactly. So it's nothing you can do about it. Every day
Yeah.
it's time.
Oh, my damn, turn the light off that shit got back then.
Ah, okay, now you turn it on now.
See what I'm saying? That's what I turned it off. It got back then.
Okay, that's fine. So when he gets to heaven because he drowned, he's like, Lord, where were you? I was praying, and the Lord said, well, I sent two boats in a helicopter. What do you want me to do? So for you guys that are listening that do not have the startup capital that you know you need, so let's just talk about this. You cannot build a empire with a teaspoon. You cannot build an empire with a shoestring budget. You got to be honest with yourself about the fact that you really do need real money in order to build a real business. I'm gonna let y'all talk about that real quick while I get on Instagram. Chiquita, can you speak on the fact that people have got to have a real budget, and it's just not cute anymore, for you to be out there trying to build a business is not fair to you. It's not, and what's going to happen is you're going to end up spending a whole lot of time struggling when you don't have to.
You're right, Coach. You're right. You have to have a certain budget set aside. The problem is some people are taking out of their household money to try to build a business. And you can't. Then you're going to struggle. It's going to limit the amount of money you make. You're going to try to go out there and get 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 jobs to try to run your business, and it's going to fail. So you have to have a way to be able to finance the business that's different from financing your household to build wealth. Exactly.
And I think what people got to realize too, that it's not just about it's not just about it's not just about the money you need to build your business. It's also the fact that it takes time to build your business. So if you go get multiple jobs trying to get the money, now you don't have the time.
Right.
But if you don't go get the jobs, now you got the time, you don't have the money. And that business nowadays, especially on the internet, is way more competitive than it was a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Good morning, Teleburn. So you got to do what's necessary to compete. And it doesn't make sense for us to have options like sponsorship and grants and startup capital, like business credit, or even leveraging your personal credit, startup capital resources, and not leverage them because we don't know about them. So when you try to build your business out of the crumbs of what's left over, and the truth be told, the mass majority of us are already struggling. Hey, Angelina, already struggling to pay our bills. So when you try to build your business out of those crumbs, you're going to be left with a crummy business.
That's
It is
good.
just the truth of the matter that
It
you
is.
get out what you put in. So for those of you who have not scheduled your call to talk about joining the Startup Capital Bootcamp, what are you waiting for? Your situation is not going to change. Unless you get another job paying more, your financial situation is not going to change.
Mhm.
Unless some fairy comes by and pays all your bills tomorrow, your financial situation is not going to change. The business economy is such now that you are blessed to be in a spot to be able to get out there and compete, but you got to have revenue to compete. So you got to start somewhere. And I suggest you start with getting your startup capital in order. Too many of us are out there trying to build businesses without the right capital that you need to get started. So go to bit.ly/7 startup capital, schedule your call, come to the Startup Capital Bootcamp, find the money for that. Because once you find the money for the Startup Capital Bootcamp, you're going to be able to find money for other things, equipment and advertising, video and laptops. And there's certain things that you just have to have. Good morning, Goddess Bling Biz, that in order to remain competitive.
Right.
If you really want an empire, anybody here want to build an empire, go ahead and say me. And if you haven't shared the video, make sure you share, tag your business boss girlfriends. But there's a difference between a business and an empire. There's a difference, and there's so much money out there that you don't know about. But again, when you make an investment for knowledge, that knowledge puts you in a position to know more. Knowledge is power. It is the ultimate power. Because once you have knowledge, you're in that space where regardless as to what happens tomorrow, if it wipes you out, you know where to go get more funding. You know where to go get more capital. Thank you, Goddess Bling Bits, for sharing. And if you don't have that knowledge of where to go to get the capital to build your business, the first little windstorm comes along, it's going to blow you out of business. That's why if you get in a room with 100 people, 100 entrepreneurs, look to your right, look to your left. One of them people not going to be here in 5 years. And it might be you because it's over 50% don't make it. So every other person in that room is not going to still have a business. And business nowadays is too easy for you to fail. It's too many experts. There's too much technology. But the main business lesson we're missing is that closed mouths don't get fed. So while you're sitting back trying to build your business on shoestrings, trying to MacGyver your business with chewing gum and paper clips, somebody else has real technology, real automation, a real staff, real processes, real procedures, and they're building a real empire. So you got to choose, which do you want? Do you want a mom and pop business, or do you want a legacy? Do you want something that's only going to pay you today, or do you want generational wealth? And depending upon your answer, that's how you need to proceed. You've got to have revenue if you want to compete. You got to have startup capital. bit.ly/7 startup capital. Any basic business owner should understand those days of trying to build your business out of what's left over, that's not cute. I told y'all the other morning, struggling ain't sexy. It's not. Nobody wants to struggle. And the way finances flow nowadays, nobody should be struggling. But if you don't seek the knowledge, first, and that's what Solomon said. He said, Solomon, what do you want? Solomon said, give me knowledge. Because once you have knowledge, you can accomplish some things. And we have to be honest about the fact that knowledge is just not prevalent in our community. See, we're not doing nothing new. I'm not teaching you nothing new. If you look at every big business, I promise you, they leverage other people's money to build their business. You can't be afraid of credit. You can't be scared of money. Somebody told me the other day, I used to be scared of credit. Yeah, running your credit up to buy hair and shoes and clothes and jewelry, that's bad. Running your credit up to invest in your business so you can make more money and pay the credit off, that's good. There's good credit and there's bad credit. You've got to know the difference. Otherwise, you're not gonna be able to compete. It gets more and more competitive out here every single day. So you've got to make some choices as to how you want to build your business. And at the end of the day, what you really want your business to look like.
Yeah. You know what, you're right, Coach. Credit makes the world run. That's what the world is spinning on its axle with because of credit. People not just exchanging money they made, they went to work to make. And when you're building that business, you got to look at it like, is this business going to run without me? You got to be thinking that way from the start, and you need money to put all those things in place so that when you leave here, with the day you can't work, you still making money. Still coming.
More is talking about we use credit all wrong, trying to look cute. But here's the thing, guys, and this is why you have to give yourself forgiveness. You only know what you was taught.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know anything beyond that. My grandmother didn't know anything about using credit to build a business. My mom, credit was new to them. Credit cards were new to them. So all they knew was run them up and get some clothes and shoes. So at the end of the day, you can only be responsible for what you learn. But now that you're older, you have to seek new lessons. And there's free money being given away in the form of grants and startup capital programs and sponsorship. But again, if you don't have the knowledge and the contacts and resources to go out there and get them, don't be mad when you don't have them. So that's the Startup Bootcamp is all about, bit.ly/7, the number 7.
Figure Startup.
Figure Startup. I got caught up. I got so many links in my head. And so, yeah, you don't have what you don't ask for. And, some of us will sit by and starve before we will go out and ask, but not me. I go out and ask. You can't do anything but tell me no. And we got to stop being so emotional about no's, whether it's credit, whether it's a client. The more people you ask, the more people are going to say yes. And the same thing with credit. You apply with enough people, eventually somebody's going to say yes. But if you want to level the playing field, you need to know what they're going to ask you before you make your application. So a lot of y'all been signing up for your calls. A lot of you guys have been signing up for the boot camp. Don't get left behind. You got to ask yourself, if not this, then what? Mm-hmm. I already don't know how to go get money for my business. So if I don't sign up for this, then what is my option? And that's a true story. I tell people all the time, I can lead people to knowledge, but I can't make them think. You've got to think to yourself, what do I want to do differently? What do I want to have differently out of my life, out of my business that's not working right now? If you're working all day, every day in a business and still not able to afford to build your business, what happens the day you can't work? You got to do something different, guys. And people should not have to beg you to do something different. You got to be able to use your discernment. Sign up for your call first, sis. bit.ly/7-figure startup. Sign up for your call and we'll give you the link for the boot camp. But it's a true story. You've got to want more, and you've got to know that more is available to you. And we've got to start modeling our businesses after companies and corporations instead of mom and pops.
Yeah. I remember when I first met you, shortly thereafter, you just, you know how you can just read a person. You said to me, you know what your problem is? And I'm like, no, ma'am. Your Asker is broke. And when you said that to me, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way for a moment, but it made me think because I don't ask. Well, at that time, I didn't ask. I was like, I'm just going to do this and I'm going to make it right. And that's it. And that's all, because that's what I do. But when I would hit that rough spot, I still wouldn't ask. I would sit there and ponder and wonder, what if it doesn't work? What if it? And then that's when I came to the realization, but what if it does work? But I still knew at the time I didn't have the knowledge to make it work. So it's a learning process. You're not just going to know everything overnight.
Well, we've been taught not to ask, number one.
Right.
Make do with what you have. And some kind of way society looks down on us when we do ask.
Mhm.
But it's okay for everybody to ask us. And so as business women, we've got to understand that there is power in asking. There's power in saying, I don't know. You're not built to be the subject matter expert on everything. The best built businesses are built when you operate from the space where you're great, and then you hire other people to come in and do what they're great at. Somebody somewhere told us that we needed to do it all. And that's a misnomer. That's misinformation. If you do it all in your business, the day you can't do anything, your business stops. And that, my friends, is a job and not a business. So we need to create businesses, because if Jeff Bezos don't go to work tomorrow, boxes are still going to get shipped. Orders are still going to get placed. Marketing is still going to get done. Is your business set up like that? And if it's not, you've got to set it up like that, because one thing we don't control is life. You may have every intention of going to work tomorrow, but God may say different. So what happens when you can't make it to work that day? What is the plan? What is for sale? How is it going to get marketing? By the time the year's over with, my marketing campaigns are going to be 99% automated. That costs money. Tell us because she on a cell phone. So when you're looking to improve things like your technology and your staffing, you've got to stop compromising, and you've got to stop making business decisions based on what your household budget says, especially nowadays when there's so much startup capital for women that is available. So the Startup Capital Bootcamp is going to show you not only how to get those startup capital working in your favor, how to apply, what to say, what to do, what to send them. Oh, thank you, sis. I appreciate that. She said your affirmations made a difference for me. But we've got to learn how to open our mouth and ask, and not think that everything is just going to be given to us, or because we don't have it, we got to build without it. So bit.ly/7 startup capital. If you don't have the capital you need to hire a team, invest in technology, travel when you need to, upgrade your equipment, do the things that are required, run advertising campaigns. If you don't have that revenue, you need to be in that boot camp so you can start to expand your horizons and expand your vision beyond what you can afford yourself. It makes a big difference. Big visions require big investments. They do. And trust me, when you start getting to that place where you know there's money available for you to do different events and for you to upgrade different things in your business, it's gonna make a difference as to how you move in your business.
You're right, coach. And you got to start doing something now. You can't wait until you get into the middle of that opportunity and there's no money. You don't know how you're going to do it. What you do now is going to affect you the end of the year and on into the future. You got to make that first move.
Absolutely. I know somebody who got a major contract with a major vendor and didn't have the revenue to produce the product for the vendor. So that's like Walmart calls you tomorrow and wants 10,000 units. You don't have 10,000 units and you don't have the money to get 10,000 units made. You just missed your window of opportunity. So again, you got to have the access to the tools and the capital and the knowledge before the window opens. You can't wait. So you sign up for your call first, bit.ly/7-figure startup, the number 7-figure startup. And then we go from there. We give you more information about the course, and we get you started. But everybody, good morning, Cheryl. Everybody going forward is required to do this Startup Capital Bootcamp before they even come into my coaching program, because how can I teach you how to build a 7-figure brand and you don't have a 7-figure startup capital? It's impossible. It's impossible. And you got to look at that when you're going into these other programs. The knowledge is great, but where are you going to get the seed money you need to build? Makes a difference. So we're going to get out of here today because I got 1,000 videos to film and even more photos to shoot. But we got something hot coming up for you guys next week. So make sure you stay tuned in. We're going to be having a major celebration. So guys, if you haven't scheduled your call, bit.ly/7 startup, and we will see you a little bit later today.
All righty.